During the FIFA World Cup 2026, one stadium in America will host more matches than any other venue. But the most shocking thing about this stadium is not its size. It is not the 80,000 seats. It is not the giant video screen hanging above the field. And it is not even the fact that the entire Statue of Liberty could fit inside it. The most shocking thing is its roof. Because when this stadium was being built in 2006, engineers had to place a roof weighing thousands of tons on a structure with no normal walls, no internal pillars, and no support columns blocking the audience view. And this was not a fixed roof. This roof had to open and close whenever needed. Now imagine trying to slide a roof so heavy that moving it is like pulling the weight of multiple Boeing planes across a curved steel structure. One wrong calculation and the roof could jam. One motor failure and the two sides could move out of sync. One structural mistake and the entire stadium design could become impossible. Many engineers studied the problem. Different ideas were tested, but almost every normal solution failed. And then the final answer came from an invention more than 150 years old. An invention created by a man who was not even a stadium engineer. And to understand how that old idea helped build one of the most advanced stadiums in the world, we first have to go back to the biggest problem inside AT&T Stadium. AT&T Stadium is located in Arlington, Texas. Today, it is known as the home of the Dallas Cowboys, one of the most valuable sports teams in the world. But when this stadium was planned, the demand was very clear. The owners did not want a stadium that would only be used for a few football games every year. They wanted a machine, a stadium that could host NFL games, college football, concerts, boxing, soccer, wrestling, and global events. In simple words, the stadium had to make money almost the whole year, but Texas created a serious problem. In summer, the heat can become brutal. In winter, storms and bad weather can disturb outdoor events, so the stadium could not be completely open. It needed climate control, it needed air conditioning, it needed a roof. But there was one condition: the audience view could not be blocked. In a normal building, the roof is supported by columns, but in a stadium, columns are a disaster. Because if a pillar comes in front of a fan, that person does not see the match. They see concrete, so architect Brian Truby and the engineering team had to solve one of the hardest design problems of their career. Build a giant indoor stadium, make it climate-controlled, add a moving roof, hang a massive video screen inside, and do all of this without putting pillars in the seating bowl. The first challenge was simple to understand, but extremely hard to solve. How do you support a roof over such a huge space? If engineers used traditional columns, the view would be blocked. If they made the roof lighter, it might not survive the wind loads, movement, and long-term stress. If they used too many support points, the stadium would lose its open design. And this stadium was not small. The building covers around 3 million square feet. Its interior volume is so huge that when you look at it from inside, it does not feel like a stadium. It feels like an airport terminal, a shopping mall, and a sports arena combined. Then came the second challenge. The stadium needed 2 giant moving roof panels. These panels had to slide open when the weather was good and close, when the heat, rain, or event type demanded it. But sliding a heavy roof on a normal flat track is already difficult. Here, the roof was not sitting on a simple flat structure. It was connected to massive curved steel arches, so engineers were not only supporting weight, they were controlling movement. And movement is always dangerous in large structures because a fixed structure only has to stay strong, but a moving structure has to stay strong while changing position. That means friction, gravity, motor timing, wind pressure, steel expansion, and emergency braking all become part of the problem. And this is where the stadium became an engineering nightmare. To solve the support problem, engineers looked at a very old idea, an idea that had already solved a similar problem in Europe. In the 1870s, railway engineers in Portugal were trying to cross the Douro River. The river was wide, deep, and fast. Building pillars inside the water was extremely difficult, so the bridge needed to cross the river with very little support in the middle. For this impossible-looking problem, engineers turned to a French designer named Gustave Eiffel. Today, the world remembers Eiffel because of the Eiffel Tower, but before that tower, Eiffel was already solving impossible bridge problems. For the Maria Pia Bridge in Portugal, Eiffel used a powerful arch structure. Instead of placing supports in the river, the bridge transferred its load toward the sides. The secret was not just the big arch. The real secret was inside the arch. If you look closely at old iron bridges, you see many small triangles inside the structure. These triangles are not decoration. They are the real strength. Because a triangle is one of the strongest shapes in engineering. A square can bend, a rectangle can deform, but a triangle holds its shape. When force comes from the top, the triangle spreads the force through its sides. This is called a truss system, and this old bridge idea became the hidden recipe for AT&T Stadium. But now, it had to be used on a much bigger scale. A T&T Stadium uses two massive arched box trusses. These arches are the backbone of the stadium roof. Each arch stretches across a huge distance, carrying the roof without needing normal internal pillars. The structural steel in the roof system weighs thousands of tons. The arches transfer the weight outward into huge concrete support points called abutments. This is very similar to how a bridge sends force into the ground at both ends. But here, instead of carrying trains over a river, the arches carry a stadium roof over tens of thousands of people. This was the first major solution. Do not support the roof from inside. Support it from the sides. Let the arches carry the load. Let the truss design spread the forces, and let the audience see the field without obstruction. But this only solved half of the problem, because after the fixed roof structure was completed, engineers still had to solve the most dangerous part, the roof opening. The stadium still needed two huge panels that could move, and moving a roof this heavy is not like opening a garage door. It is like moving a steel mountain. A fixed roof can be calculated. Its load is known. Its support points are known. Its behavior is mostly predictable. But a retractable roof is different. The moment the roof starts moving, the entire system becomes dynamic. The weight shifts. The motors come under load. The tracks face friction. The wind can apply pressure. The two sides must stay perfectly synchronized. If one side moves faster than the other, the panel can twist. If the panel twists, it can jam. If it jams, the motors can overload. And if the system fails during movement, the entire roof can become stuck in the middle. Engineers could have used heavy-duty winches and cables, but that created new dangers. Cables stretch. Cables can snap. Winches add massive extra weight. And if one winch stops working, the roof can lose balance. So engineers needed a system that was powerful, synchronized, controlled, and safe. And once again, the answer came from an old invention. Not from a stadium, not from a skyscraper, but from a mountain railway. In the 19th century, a businessman named Sylvester Marsh wanted to solve problem. He loved mountain climbing, but climbing Mount Washington in New Hampshire was difficult and dangerous. Tourists would often turn back before reaching the top. So Marsh imagined a train that could climb the mountain. But a normal train cannot climb a steep slope safely. Its wheels depend on friction. On a steep track, the wheels can slip. And if the train stops, gravity can pull it backward. So Marsh used a special system called a cog railway, also known as a rack railway. In this system, there is a toothed rail in the middle of the track. The train has a rotating gear underneath it. That gear is called the pinion. Its teeth lock into the rack. The train mechanically grips the track. This allows the train to climb steep slopes, and more importantly, it gives engineers much better control. This system is called rack and pinion, and this old mountain railway concept became the key to moving the roof of AT&T Stadium. Inside AT&T Stadium, engineers used the same rack and pinion idea that Sylvester Marsh invented 150 years ago. A rack is installed along the roof track. Pinion gears connect with that rack. Motors turn the pinions, and as the gears rotate, the roof panels move. 130 motors working together, opening or closing 1,500 tons of roof in just 12 minutes. What looks simple from outside is actually years of calculations hidden behind a few minutes of movement. Old invention, modern miracle. But solving the roof created another problem: cooling the stadium. A T&T stadium uses 11,000 tons of air conditioning. To understand that, most home units are 1 to 3 tons. This stadium needs thousands. Cold air is pushed through ducts 6 feet wide, settling down toward the seating area, while hot air rises naturally above. Even the air inside this building follows a carefully engineered plan, because in Texas, where summer heat feels like standing inside an oven, keeping 80,000 people comfortable is an engineering challenge as complex as the roof itself. When fans watch FIFA World Cup 2026 at AT&T Stadium, they will see football, they will see goals, they will see history being made. But behind all of that is a roof without pillars. A 150-year-old railway invention, moving 1,500 tons of steel, 11,000 tons of air conditioning, and grass grown 800 miles away under pink LED lights. A T&T Stadium is not just a sports venue. It is proof that the greatest engineering solutions are often hiding in the most unexpected places. A meat-packing businessman climbing a mountain in 1852, a bridge over a Portuguese river in 1875, and a stadium in Texas that changed what humans thought was possible. This is the third vision. See beyond the unknown. If this video showed you something you had never seen before, subscribe and hit the bell, because every single week we go deeper into the stories the world never stops to explain.